Hi, I'm here with Joe Acker, President of SOCMA. Joe, can you tell us a little bit about what the new administration is going to mean for chemicals?
Sure, I'd be happy to, Simon. I think that the chemical industry is going to be in for some very interesting times with the Obama administration. We can see from yesterday the things that he did in terms of climate change. I think he wants to be very proactive out of the box, and that's going to keep us pretty busy in Washington for the next couple of years.
You've got some thoughts about the first 100 days?
We do. We have an initiative for the first 100 days of the Obama administration to make sure that we meet with the people on his staff in the White House and also in the regulatory agencies so that they understand who SOCMA is, the batch chemical industry that we represent, and also that they hear what our concerns are in terms of potential legislative or regulatory initiatives going forward.
What are the top of your list of things to be worried about?
Well, there's several. Climate change obviously is one. TSCA reform, we feel, is a pretty big issue that they need to hear from industry people about. And there are also a lot of other regulatory initiatives. The chemical site security legislation is going to sunset this year, so they're going to have to renew that, and I think that's going to be another area that we will be heavily involved in.
So it's really TSCA and inherently safer technologies?
Yes. Yeah. In the TSCA reform, we feel very strongly that there are things that can be done to improve TSCA. And we want to work with the people to do that, but we want to do it in a way that is not going to put a stranglehold on U.S. industry and put U.S. companies at a competitive disadvantage. And the people in Washington really need to understand that and understand what our concerns are. There are a lot of folks that would like to put in a REACH type system, just kind of take a duplicate of REACH and put it in the U.S. And the problem we have with that is that REACH has been so far pretty much of a mess, and why would you want to do something that doesn't seem to be all that great? There are other things you can do, there are other avenues, there are other ways to do it, and we want to work with the regulatory agencies and the administration to do it in the manner that helps, not hinders, U.S. industry, and still do the things that the people want done.
Have you seen any good presentations this morning?
I did. I thought, actually the last one was good. It was on microreactors. I liked it. It was informative. I think it's important that people come to Informex. Got to stay current. There was another one on, Resurcas was very informative. Talked about the new capacity that they had. And a couple, just the scope of how some of these companies are growing in the U.S. versus having technology be exported to both China and India. And I think it's really encouraging that companies in the U.S. are showing growth as far as CMO work.
And do you think it's worth coming to Informex?
It's most definitely very important to come to Informex, especially when business is what I call squirrely. In times like this, you got to go out and you got to, go after the business. And Informex is the trade show to do that. I think it's very important.
I guess there's a lot of, new technologies coming in. So we exchange information with the people. And we always see friends, so it's always good to be here.
Do you find it's worthwhile coming to Informex?
Absolutely. It's the cutting edge of what's going on and what's going to be happening next, especially in this kind of an economy. It's very important to know.
Do you think business is going to be tough, you say, squarely in 2009, 2010?
I hope it's squirrely for the first half of 2009. I hope it starts getting more stable in the second half. I think with the change of, hopefully, the current administration will make changes. I think also the downsizing may be good. The Japanese word for crisis and opportunity are the same. And I think you just have to go out and get it. Being at Informex is important. I think people who didn't show up are going to miss a lot. And you have to be current.
Cool. And what about REACH? Have you got any thoughts about how chemical regulation like REACH might impact your business?
For me, we deal mostly in sorbents. So we don't deal in products that have kind of regulatory issues.
We prepare for a long time for each, so I think probably doesn't have much impact for our business. But I'm not sure about the future business because whenever you have a new product, you have to file the enrich program. So we have to work in proactively to meet those kind of demand. But yeah, we are pretty well, prepared for that.
Have you seen any good presentations?
I have. Most of them focus on the power of partnerships. And we find that to be especially interesting because it's showing that the industry, in order to survive and to grow, is finding other people who can do complementary activities.
How's business going to be?
Well, I think you probably will see some downturn, but in the pharmaceutical industry, I think generally okay, I guess. So far, we didn't see any slowdown yet, but I hope that's going to be doesn't too much harm for us. I think it should be fine, I guess. Yeah.
Welcome to a roundup of news from our ISIS reporters at Informex 2009. Look out for Clay Boswell. He'll be chairing the Green Exchange on Thursday, and for Lisa Mirasol. If you've got a story for Informex TV, then let them know. Pfizer's bid for Wyeth is being greeted with scepticism at the show. News broke on Monday, and yesterday a visitor said it's going to paralyse the industry. The director of one US-based API manufacturer predicted the move would catalyse a far-reaching consolidation and that there would be massive layoffs. Also out of the show, Roman Haas is suing Dow Chemical because Dow has not yet completed the proposed purchase of Roman Haas. There'll be more on this as the show progresses. Microreactor technology for pharma chemicals is one of the things that people are talking about at Informex. DSM is running a microreactor technology to make CGMP quality pharma chemicals at commercial scale. Word is that SAFAC will be using similar microtechnology soon and is planning a press conference about that at the show. One of the themes of Informex will be containing costs and trying to see how demand will develop over the rest of the year. Clay Boswell has a story on ISIS News, quoting Georg Geiselbaumer, Managing Director of Wildchem, saying customers who've built up inventory are now reducing that. He adds that underlying demand may not be visible, certainly not to us, and maybe not even to our customers. Finally, the recession is biting the biotech sector. Business from the biotechs has all dried up, one contractor from Switzerland said. On Tuesday, he added that such companies facing uncertain financing are hoarding their cash and focusing on existing projects. That's all for today. There'll be more tomorrow. Simon Robinson, and I'm here with Joe D'Alessandro of the San Francisco Convention and Visitor Center. Joe, why do people come to conventions in San Francisco?
Well, for a lot of reasons. San Francisco is a really diverse city. Not only do we have great meeting facilities like the Moscone Center where you're meeting in today, but we have so much to offer in the city. Not only the natural beauty, the incredible setting on the bay, but we have great neighborhoods with fantastic restaurants. We've got great culinary scene. The wine country is right next to us. We've got arts and culture. Really, for a small city, and it's a small geographic city, only 49 square miles, it really has a wealth of opportunities and a wealth of things to do and see while you're here.
What kind of things do people do when they're not at the exhibition?
Well, there's so much to do. In fact, exploring San Francisco by foot, it really is one of the best things to do. You can go through Chinatown, which we're celebrating the Year of the Ox. Chinese New Year is just kicking off right now. Or you can go to Fisherman's Wharf, the historic area where you can see people selling crab and have seafood right by the bay. Or go into some of the neighborhoods where there's tremendous shopping, Union Square or the Mission or the Castro District, and really explore what makes San Francisco so unique, really one of the most unique cities in the world.
Have you got any special tips or special places that you go to personally that you'd like other people to go to?
Well, you know, if you have the opportunity, I would really extend your stay a little bit and explore some of those neighborhoods that you may not be familiar with. A lot of people are familiar with Chinatown or Fisherman's Wharf, but maybe go explore the Mission, which is a really hot, up-and-coming neighborhood where a lot of great new restaurants are coming in, a lot of great art galleries, a lot of performance venues that are really kind of what the locals really treasure. And so more and more visitors are finding out some of these neighborhoods like the Mission or like the Castro or like the Haight. They come back to San Francisco and say, wow, I never knew that was part of what San Francisco had to offer.
Welcome to the Informex Show Guide for Thursday, the 29th of January. Between 7:30 and 10:10 in room 304 is the Green Chemistry Breakfast Briefing, sponsored by Eureka Green Synth Technologies. This will feature discussions by executives and research scientists that currently offer green solutions to everyday manufacturing programs. Between 7:30 and 8:05 a.m., John Warner of Warner Babcock Institute for Green Chemistry will be presenting. 8:05 to 8:25, California's new green chemistry program, explained by Maureen Gorson, Director of the California Department of Toxic Substances. 8:25 to 9 a.m. we'll see Ronald Gebhard, R&D Director of DSM Pharmaceutical Products, speaking. 9 to 9:35, Christopher Gann, Chief Executive Officer of Genomatica. 9:35 to 10:10, Thomas Schaefer, a Senior Director of Novozymes, will round the briefing off. San Francisco has been home to many motion pictures, including Bullitt, The Thin Man, The Maltese Falcon, and of course TV series The Streets of San Francisco.